Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About Clutter. I'm your host, Margo, a professional organizer specializing in chronic clutter. And today we're taking a deep dive into the science of clutter. So if you've ever wondered whether your messy space is really affecting you, or if that clutter stress you feel is all in your head, spoiler alert, it's not. There's actual research showing how clutter impacts our brains, stress levels, productivity, and even our relationships. By the end of this episode, you'll have a better understanding of how clutter affects your daily life and, of course, what you can do about it. Let's get started. We've all experienced that moment when walking into a messy room instantly makes us feel more anxious or overwhelmed. Well, science backs this up. Studies have found that cluttered spaces can significantly increase cortisol levels, that hormone responsible for stress. One fascinating study from UCLA found that women who described their homes as cluttered had higher levels of stress hormones throughout the day compared to those who saw their homes as restful and organized. The kicker? Their stress levels didn't just spike when they were cleaning, it was constant, meaning that their messy homes kept them in a near permanent state of stress. So if you've ever felt that a cluttered home equals a cluttered mind, you are not imagining it. I feel like this is enough motivation to start decluttering, but no worries, I'm going to give you more. Let's talk about how clutter impacts productivity and focus. If you've ever tried to work at a messy desk and felt like you just couldn't concentrate, there is a scientific reason for that too. Researchers at Princeton University found that when there's too much visual clutter in your environment, your brain has to actually work harder to filter out the distraction. This reduces your ability to focus, process information, and even make decisions. Think about it. Every item in your space is silently demanding your attention, like kids. That pile of papers, a reminder of unfinished tasks. Those clothes on the chair, a nagging to-do list. The brain is constantly processing this information, whether you realize it or not. So if you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or maybe even unproductive, clearing even a small area like your desk or kitchen counter can make a huge difference in your mental clarity and energy levels. Clutter is actually also impacting our sleep. A study published in Sleep Journal found that people who sleep in messy bedrooms tend to take longer to fall asleep and have lower quality of sleep overall. Researchers believe that this is because a chaotic environment sends signals to the brain that there's still unfinished business, making it harder to relax and fully unwind. This is especially true if you're someone who suffers from ADHD or anxiety. If you've been struggling with restlessness at night, here's an easy fix. Before bed, take 5 minutes to tidy up your nightstand, put away stray items, and create a calming bedtime space. It is a small habit that can make a big impact on your sleep quality. If you currently have a lot of stuff, a lot of clutter in various corners of your bedroom, on the floor, on the dressers, if your closets are overflowing and your dressers are overflowing, I highly encourage you and recommend that you begin decluttering your bedroom. If you're someone who's like, Margo, I don't know where to even start. It's too much. It's overwhelming. I have the most incredible on-demand masterclass. It's called How to Create a Decluttering Plan, and it will walk you through how you decide where to start, what room, what space, how you break it down into smaller sections, how you create a schedule. I am literally with you on this journey. It's on demand. You can watch it as many times as you want. It comes with a beautiful step-by-step workbook. It's life-changing. I will leave a link to it in the show notes. Beyond productivity and stress, clutter has a direct impact on our emotions and our relationship. Think about it. When your home feels out of control, it can create guilt, frustration, and even tension between family members. How can we be present to the conversation with our partner or playing with our kids when we are being ambushed by the mess and all the stuff we still need to do? A study from the Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin found that couples who argued about clutter were more likely to have relationship dissatisfaction. Why? Because clutter represents, again, unfinished tasks, which can lead to feelings of being overwhelmed or unsupported. The good news is that decluttering even small areas together can create a shared sense of accomplishment and reduce household tension. So if clutter has been a point of stress in your home, start with a decluttering date. Pick a room, set a timer, and tackle it as a team. The other thing that I want to be very mindful of, and I get this a lot with my private one-on-one clients, is that oftentimes our partners, especially our male counterparts, they do not see clutter the same way we do. There's been a lot of research done that really shows that where us as women, our cortisol level spikes and we become overwhelmed and stressed, and we're noticing just like the clutter piles around the home, this actually does not impact a lot of men. So I know it can be really frustrating. Like, why doesn't he see the same thing that I see? But the truth is he doesn't. I'm not saying give him a pass, but what I typically tell my clients is we at this point still have a lot of our own clutter and shared space clutter. So if your partner is not on board just yet, I always encourage you to first begin decluttering your stuff, then declutter shared spaces, and then little by little kind of get him into the decision-making process. What oftentimes happens is that our counterparts, our partners or kids will start to notice the incredible benefits of having less clutter in the home, and sometimes will follow suit. Now, I am fully transparent. There will be times where certain partners and children just aren't on board. So control what you can control. But I have worked with hundreds of women, and I can tell you that in many instances, the partners begin to declutter as well. And if not actively declutter, they grant the wife the permission to make the decision of what to keep and what to toss as it relates to their stuff. So all hope is not lost. So now that we know what science says about clutter, let's talk about what you can do about it. Number one, and you've probably, I feel like, I say this almost every episode because it works. It truly works. The first thing that you want to do is you want to start small but think big. Decluttering is less about the duration and frequency and more about consistency. I am a firm believer in bite-sized decluttering. You don't have to tackle a room. Declutter a drawer, a shelf, or a handful of items at a time. This builds motivation and momentum. The next thing you could do is declutter before bed. A 5-minute tidy up before sleeping can improve rest and reduce morning stress. I have adapted a quick home reset routine before bed, and I absolutely love that I wake up to a clean home. This doesn't have to be a heavy-duty cleaning, simply return items to where they belong. It is very much about progress, not perfection. The next thing you can do is create clutter-free zones. You can establish at least one no-clutter area, like a dining room table or a bathroom sink, where clutter isn't allowed to accumulate. Eventually, all areas of your home will be clutter-free zones, but to start with, just one will suffice. Another helpful tip is you can adopt the 1-minute rule. If something takes less than a minute to put away throughout the day, do it immediately. This prevents small messes from turning into overwhelming clutter. And finally, try as much as you can to make it a family effort. Share the benefits of decluttering with your fam so they can support the process. Even kids, there are strategies for getting our kids involved through game, right? Kids love to do things if it's fun. So even something like if you have small children, you can say, let's do a 60-second purge, and you essentially put 60 seconds timer on, whether it's on your Alexa or whatnot, turn on some hype music and tell your kiddos that they have to collect as many things as possible in 60 seconds to get rid of. Clutter isn't just about having too much stuff. It's about how our environment affects our minds, moods, and overall well-being. Science confirms that decluttering can help lower stress, boost productivity, improve sleep, and even strengthen our relationships. So let's start small. Pick one area today and clear it out. You'll be amazed at how much lighter and more focused you will feel. If you're ready to dive deeper into decluttering and create a home that feels calm and peaceful, I highly recommend you take my on-demand 60-minute How to Create a Decluttering Plan Masterclass. It's packed with a simple 3-step system and a workbook that will serve as a guide to help you declutter your entire home in half the time. And of course, if you love this episode, please leave a review or share it with a friend. As always, thank you so much for listening. Good luck on your decluttering journey, and remember to be good to yourself.